Inside the wreckage of an ill-fated colony ship, civilization continues with all of its war and bloodshed. In the ruins, you have come upon the remains of a prop caravan, but luckily for you, it works as a real one too. Use it to survive as you trade from town to town and keep your eyes peeled as you travel through the darkness. Welcome to Caravanier. This is my indie game, I suppose you could say, that I've been working on for around half a year at this point, off and on, just in my free time. But I've finally gotten it to a prototype state where, and by that I just mean it's a playable thing now. You can play it. There's a form of a gameplay loop in it. Is really what I should be saying. Now, the next obvious question you might have is, where's the gameplay, or what is this game? And we'll get to the gameplay in a second. I just like to sort of explain the idea or goal, objective of the game first. So now there's three pillars I have for Caravanier. You know, what is a Caravanier? I guess linguistically it's the head of a caravan. If you want to know the definition of the word. As for the pillars, we have trading, surviving, and impacting. Now, obviously, it's a caravan. You know, you think of a caravan. What does a caravan do? You go around and you trade. Surviving, as you could see in the description there I had in the intro, this takes place in the wreckage of a colony ship. So there's this sci-fi element to it, and as you can see from the art, I've kind of got a Western vibe, so sci-fi Western is what we're going with here. And so it's not a given that everyone makes it and everyone lives and everything's all hunky-dory. So I do want there to be a survival aspect to the game. And impacting, it isn't a sandbox necessarily. I do want there to be a more structured narrative to the game, but like any role playing, not to be pedantic here. I don't know, but you impact the story. You know, you can impact how the story ends. I want it to be so that as you fulfill orders, which are basically just quests, but you know, I wanted to have it be a bit more trade merchant-esque sounding, so we're calling them orders, where you fulfill them and they can kind of nudge the story in a certain direction. Basic, you know, RPG quest stuff, but you know, you are just a caravan. That is the important part of this game, is you're kind of limited in your scope. I don't want there to be combat, at least nothing extensive. I want it to be mostly focusing on trade as you barter and trade, and go and live your best merchant life. Sort of the more specific things here I'll get into. Barter and trade, pretty obvious. You know, you can trade items for items. There's no currency system yet in the current prototype. That will hopefully be in one of the future ones. I don't think it's going to be too hard to implement. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Another thing I want is that as you trade, like starting off, you don't have all that much information on the value of the items you have, like how much they're worth. But you know, as you play the game, maybe you as a player as well will learn certain items are more valuable than others, but your character in the game as well, you'll be able to get better information or a tighter range on like what the actual price of it could be. I do want there to be haggling mechanics as well. I think that would be fun and cool. Potentially some market impacts. I don't know how big. This is more of a simulation thing, so I don't know how deep I want to dip my toe into that. If I want to have there start being a system where the economy kind of just goes on its own and your trades can impact it, and then there's sort of like fake trades going on in it behind the scenes that impact the prices at each town. But maybe we'll see if that really strikes my fancy at some point in the future. And as for specific surviving things, I'm planning to have like a bit of a health system, and like any health system, when that goes down, you know, you lose. I'm thinking of having it be more of a morale thing. So you just kind of give up if it goes down, because I don't want there to be death necessarily. Like, I do want there to be there are dangers as you travel the map, and maybe you get jumped or something. I want it to be that, oh, they just like take your stuff, or some of your stuff is really what I want, because realistically they probably can't carry all your stuff. It's just a couple guys and you have a whole caravan full of things. But that's the basic idea there. As for impacting, I kind of went through a lot of it, but another thing is you can change the map with some of them. Some of the orders you fulfill, you'll be able to unlock new parts of the map and whatnot, and then develop relationships with the different factions and characters within each faction, or they're not in a faction. You know, that's fine too. But now we'll finally get into the gameplay after you've allowed me to ramble so much. I do have the game up on itch.io right now, the prototype. If you'd love to see it, I am putting a link to it in the description. So check that out if you'd feel so inclined. But here is the prototype so far. So if you're not too interested, but you still want to see, you don't want to follow the link, you can see. I'll show you everything in the game that we have right now. So starting off, this is our clock. Time is going to be very important in the game, hopefully. But as for now, it's just kind of there, and it keeps track of how long you've played in game, I suppose. So, okay, I should probably explain these. So these are all the different menus we have. We have an inventory. This is stats, finances, the map, the relations / dictionary, glossary type thingy, and then these are the orders. So this will keep track of all the quests you've completed and which ones you're currently supposed to be fulfilling. I don't know. We'll see if you get around to them. And this actually is functional, so I can kind of show you. But yeah, it's just going to be a list of everyone you've met, all the towns you've encountered, and just tell you, a little description. I'm thinking I have like a picture and like blah 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 blah, and then like, oh, their name, if they like you or not, or if they hate your guts because you were mean to them that one time, or you failed to fulfill an order. And then these are the 3 factions we have as well. Technically 4, but this one just means no faction. And then we'll do map last because that has the most content. Finances doesn't have anything. ATM, sorry. Stats is like halfway full. The idea with it is it will show you, like, you can get different upgrades for your caravan as well. So like you could make it faster, you could have it add capacity so you can hold more stuff, or you could add strength or something so you can have heavier stuff, because there is a weight, maybe not distribution, but slow down encumbrance. There we go. There's an encumbrance system, right? You don't want to be too heavy. And then here's the inventory. Oh. Wait, why'd that crash? We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. And so here's the inventory. We have all of our beautiful item slots. So you start off with 6. This is a trash can, so you can throw stuff away. It doesn't throw away immediately, just in case you just wanted to reorganize, I guess, or you just accidentally threw it in there. But yeah, you click and you drag, and I think it's cute. It's fun, you can see it like changes size. I think it's a little hypnotic in a way, but yeah, that's about it. You can see a little description I wrote for it. Here's going to be your money. So if you wanted to look at how much money you have, the plan is to have 3 currencies here, as you can see here in the main hub / camp menu as well. I guess I'll explain this too. The idea is it'll just show you like your caravan camped out, and then all the characters you have along for the ride. But now we'll get into the map. So this is basically what the map world looks like everywhere. White means you can move in it. If it's gray, that's a wall, and you'll hit it, and you cannot move there. But these big bubbles, like this one, these are the towns. I think there are 12 currently in the game. And so when you get in a town at the moment, there are these 4 buttons. Once again, the orders are not implemented yet, so you can't do anything in them, but you can rest, and it progresses time by 8 hours as everyone sleeps exactly 8 hours. You can also hit this rumors button if you want to talk to someone to get some information. Right now, I just have telling you which towns are nearby, so Georgia to the northeast and Lamplight to the west. So if we wanted to go to either one of those, we could right now. We could also hit up the trade menu and see what we have going on in here. So how the trade works currently is you drag the items you want into your inventory, and then the items you want to sell into the trade inventory, which is up here. And then when you're satisfied, you can offer. And then if it's a good trade, they will accept it, and you will now own all this stuff. And if you want to undo it, too late. No takes backsies. And then down here, you can also see the prices for the 3 categories. So each of the items fit into one of these 3 categories. We have food, arms, stuff, food, edible things, arms, weapons, and things adjacent. Stuff is literally just everything else. And so this town, right, let's say an item has a base of 10 value, trade value, yeah, right here. This value here shows you after this specific math for the town. And so if an item had a value of 10 and it was stuff, it would now have a value of 11.5. Yeah, I think that's how that works. And then, yeah, I think that's more or less it. There are a few voice lines, depending on how close or far the ratio is. If I tried to just take this from him, he could be a little mad. This is, as you might be able to tell, this is a placeholder. This is not what it's gonna look like in the end. But yeah, real quick, we can just go in. Right, we're going northeast. He said Georgia was this way, so we can make our way over to Georgia. And then, yeah, see it. I have the town names up in the corner right now. All of this subject to change. This is early prototype. And then, right, Fort Taylor, which is where we just were, that's where you start, southwest, and then columns are northwest. Mostly west, as you can see. There's not much north to go there, but if we make our way around, you'll see this black void, and if you go into the voids, there are a few of them scattered around the map. You'll enter them, and then they'll spit you out in a new map, and this is columns, but yeah, we can show you the map there. The color shows the faction of the town. So we have the red faction, there's the gray faction, which is no faction actually, and then the blue faction. But yeah, that's basically what's in here. There is a saving and loading system. At the moment, if I update stuff, I'll have to update that too, and if I forget, it won't work. But as for now, it's stable and works, as far as I'm aware. All the times I've done it, there hasn't been a problem. But yeah, that is the current gameplay. So if you'd love to try it out on itch.io and see how much moolah you can make in this fun world, be my guest. I'd appreciate it greatly. Alright, so after you've loved what you've just seen, you might be wondering what is next. And so these are just 4 things that I have on my docket, so to speak, of systems or other things I want to implement. Character system, like I want you to be able to go into a town and hire people, or at least just have specific people you can talk to outside of clicking the rumors button. So maybe this segues perfectly into town life. So you saw one of those town menus. I'll be placing like maybe a dude here or there that you can just click on and then talk to him, chat him up, or probably buildings, and then you can go inside the building and then there'll be people in the building. Like a real town, one might say. And then the orders too. This is another big one. I just want to get it done. It feels like such a fundamental thing. I just want to throw a few quests in there, and then I guess these two segue perfectly as well. And then you can kind of impact the story. This is a teaser. This is a teaser for something. You know, if you stay tuned, you'll know what this image means. But yeah, throwing some quests for people to do, give them some more structure. I don't fully know how I want to implement it. I have a few ideas. I don't think it'll be too difficult. But yeah, next time I do these, you know, I'll get more into the coding side of things. I do have a different sort of devlog that I do. Let me show you it really quick. So this is a devlog of mine that I kind of update whenever I update the game. And you can see here and there's some major progress being made, and then other days it's like a line, one thing. This day I just redrew one hallway on the map. But yeah, if you're interested in this, you know, I'll put a shareable, viewable link to this too if you wanted to peer it over. But that being said, thank you for watching and maybe even enjoying. I would hope so. But yeah, if this has piqued your interest, you know, play the prototype. If you have some ideas of your own, that's the main thing I want to get from this. You know, if you have any ideas of what you think would be cool, I'd love to hear it in the comments, or in any other way you'd like to express that. But that being said, thank you, and have a wonderful day.